what I said.
Bitch, what?
Say it out loud. That's what I said.
Bitch, what?
That's what I said. Yeah. Step in the room, let the truth get loose. From the deck to the desk, I still bring that juice. Retired Navy chief, yeah, I earned them anchors. Kansas City roots, still too real for the fakers. Saw in my story, but I never got bitter. I talk mental health, let the truth get bigger. News in the morning, gossip in the rear view. If it ain't real life, I ain't here to cheer you. Married and grounded, got my own foundation. Most high, stay close, that's my navigation. Podcast on point, let the people hear. That's what I said, I'm a voice out here. Never forget where you came from. Pray with your head up, move when the day come. I've been through the storm, I've been through the dark. Still I keep faith with a Navy heart. That's what I said. That's what I said. Say it out loud, say it out loud, loud, loud. That's what I said. Bitch, what, bitch, what?
Collate. What's good? It is that Tuesday 6 o'clock program called That's What I Said, and it's your boy Said. What up? And this right here is gonna be different because I think for many times I have thought about trying to talk about things that I don't necessarily feel I should have to talk about, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it tonight. And I hate the fact that it's come to me saying something. Not that it's like really that big of a deal, but at the same time, when a veteran has to stick his neck out and say this is fucked up, then I think we need to actually pay attention. This whole Abraham Lincoln situation, I'm not going to talk about it the whole like 45 minutes or whatever, but it's a messed up situation if you really think about it. And everybody wants to put their little 2 cents in, and say whatever. And the people that served and done deployments, they've I've heard some sayings and some words and some, ideas or some bullshit in between. But the reality is that when you join the military, irregardless of how old you are or what status of your life is, you're in the military. Okay. And 90% of the training you get is to prepare you for what you're doing in Iraq or what you're doing on the water near there, or regardless of where your operation may take you. Your training is supposed to get you ready for what you're about to encounter. I don't care what training you get, rather it's boot camp, you get shipboard firefighting school, aircraft, all the different schools you get. Nothing can prepare you for the bullshit that Abraham Lincoln is in right now. Nobody can, because you can hear on one hand where somebody will tell you, oh, it's not that bad. And then you hear on the other hand where, oh, it's deplorable and we can't do this and we can't do that. And it's blah, blah, blah. And it's like, which one do we believe? Believe the worst. Believe the worst. Because 9 times out of 10 is probably way worse than what they're saying. It's way worse. And a lot of times we sit here as veterans, we don't want to be the beacon of light or the I told you so type shit, because when we was in the military, the whole mentality was different. A lot of the mentality was different. Not even just the fact of being in the military and the things that you were doing to get ready for whatever it is you're doing, deployment, this cycle, that cycle, whatever. But what I don't understand is why 5,000 people have to get sent somewhere that is not really, it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything for anybody. Mind you, they got extended twice, not once, twice. They were supposed to be back home back in May. They left in November. Why would you get extended twice to really be in the middle of somebody else's bullshit? It's nothing organized about what's going on. Nothing. And people can say what they want. People can, be that beacon of light to people that need it. But what I'm going to say is this. I refuse to believe that these people are out there doing a mission and nobody is like listening to a distress signal, or nobody's listening to, oh, help us. Because I don't give a damn what you say. I've been deployed 4 times. Okay. Out of the 4 times that I've been deployed, I've only been extended once. Now, irregardless of how you look at things, you are prepared mentally to go on deployment. You're just not prepared mentally to deal with the political bullshit that's dealing with that. Oh, by the way, being in the military, you don't have a political affiliation. You can't voice, oh, I don't like this shit, I hate this, blah, blah, blah. You just can't. They don't even, no. It's not that type of party. They really don't give a shit how you feel. Because mentally, they have something for you. They have doctors for you. They have a place to send you. But when you telling them that this is bothering you, when you telling them that the repetitiveness of Groundhog Day is getting taxing. Some people will say, oh, you need to grow up. No, you need to listen to these people. Because a lot of times when people are telling you that they're at their wits' end, or whatever the case is, it gets to a point where it's like not heard. It's like, whatever, you're looking for attention. No, they're not. When you sick and tired of being sick and tired, eventually you're gonna get tired of the bullshit. You can get tired of the rigmarole of, nah, this ain't it. It is what it is. But at the same time, you're going to get tired of it because they're not giving you no answers. Nobody's telling you this is the right direction to go. This is the wrong direction to go. No, they're just saying we got to be here and we got to do it with a smile on our face. And it's hard to do that as a leader when you don't even believe the shit that's coming out of the people's mouth. But as a leader, you have to just sit there and do what you got to do and say, look, this may not be okay, but we got to do what we got to do. You did an oath, just like I did. The sad reality is a lot of people will sit there and not be human to people. When you're in the military, you're human. I don't care who you are. We're all human. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation is, where you work at, where you came from. We're all human, which means everybody has a set of standards as far as how they're going to feel. And it's a barometer for them. When it gets to that ceiling, we're done. I'm done. I'm not, there's no bringing me down. There's none of, no, I'm done. I'm done doing this. I need to go. And when you've been out to sea 5 months on the water, no land in sight, no liberty. The liberty is the ability to be able to leave the boat or leave your place of, military workage, if you will. Wherever you work at, the time that you get off work is considered liberty. These people have not been on the boat. There's people that are actually stationed on the Abraham Lincoln. Their address is the Abraham Lincoln. When they left that boat, when they first went on deployment, there's sailors that are ship's company on that boat that have never left that boat. Not to get off, not to just have a breather, go shopping, make phone calls. Just have some relaxation. Just even if it's 20, 30 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter. You're not on the boat. And it's sad because people can't reason with the fact that people are on this ship doing what, they're supposed to do, their job, with no break. The only break you get is going in your berthing, getting out of your clothes and seeing the same, how many ever people that, that's in your berthing. And that's it. Yeah, people can talk, people can do this, but that shit gets old. You can only watch the movies they play on TV for so long. You can only, come up with morale boosting things for so long. You can only come up with so many different things that people are going to be like, I'm tired of hearing this bullshit. When are we going to receive the, get out of jail free card, if you will? We can't just sit here and think that this is okay, because it's not. It's not. And then, powers that be, whoever it is, to say they don't care, they should stay out longer, blah, blah, blah. Ain't never been in the military. Most of the people that are doing this shit, they have never been in the military. And even for those that were in the military, people that know them didn't fucking like them. Let that sink in and marinate. I'm not going to say who, but there's somebody at the top that, yeah, the whole hormone thing is just throwing me the fuck off. And then there's people in the military going for the shit. What the fuck you need to check my hormones for? And then it's the whole, no shave thing that I think beyond pissed me off, where they came out and said that, they were going to change the guidelines as far as people that, get razor bumps. And that's something that they can't prevent other than not shaving or limiting the amount of shaving and doctoring a program to where they still can shave in a comfortable environment, with razors, whatever it is they need to do that's not going to irritate their skin. But when you are telling the sailors this, or you're telling the military member this, and they understand, I can't shave because blah, blah, blah. And this is something they got to live with. And then you tell them they can't be in the military no more because you can't shave. Or you're going to limit what they do and basically not give them the same additive bonuses that everybody else gets. But y'all can't even get people within body fat standards correct. And y'all worrying about people shaving and not caring how long they go on deployment. Like, it's just our job to just go out for 2 years without going to land and we do whatever. No, that don't even sound right. They ain't even stirring the Kool-Aid. That Kool-Aid ain't even got sugar in it. It got pee in it. I ain't drinking that. That just don't make any sense. But we're just going to let it go. We're just going to not say anything about it. We're just going to perpetually just let this happen because it's not us, right? The sad part about it is that some of us got kids that are in the military and they're dealing with the same shit. They may not be on the Abraham Lincoln, but they're dealing with the same bureaucracy that we deal with every day, that we see on the news. Or people that are still working still have to deal with because of their jobs. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the people that put on all this time in and energy and training and everything else to become the person that they are, to do the great job that they do, to only be side-eyed and looked at differently, all because sexual orientation or male or female, not white. This shit's getting old. It's getting old. And if I don't say nothing that resonates with you, I'm going to say this. At some point, people are going to see that being nice comes with a consequence. There's a lot of nice people out there that are nice genuinely. And then there's people that are nice, not necessarily genuinely, because they have to. And I say that with, you can say that with the shredder cloth or however you want to look at it. There are people that will make sure you understand how they feel and don't give a damn about the fact that it could be offensive, racist, or whatever. But then they don't think about the consequences. It's like, no, have that same energy. Have that same energy. If you're going to, sit here and perpetually put your bullshit into somebody's face, have that same energy when you can't operate the same job you had, or you can't do the same things you used to do, because now people realize, oh, not only is he an asshole, he's a racist asshole or a sexist bigot. It doesn't make sense. And that's some shit. I'm sorry. And I hate to say it. And I know there's people that go to church and will pray and everything. This is some shit you can't pray away. This is taught. This is learned behavior. This is not something you can just pray away. Because you can say, I want this person to do this and I pray for his forgiveness and da da da. That person don't give a shit about what you're talking about at all. They don't care. It's really sad to sit here and be a part of an experiment that is never going to end. Because that's exactly what this is. This has got to be a fucking experiment. Because you can't tell me in the last, 12 years that we haven't changed how we look at people. We haven't changed how we talk to people. Yeah, they might have said shit under their breath or walked away and said, and some people will say some shit depending on where you located. But for everything to be so out in the open and be okay and so just unorthodox is beyond me. Like, people are bold. Kids are bold. I was cutting my grass yesterday and my riding lawnmower stopped working. And it was hot yesterday. Hot. It's hot here because my computer is pumping out so much heat. But it was hot yesterday. It almost felt like 100. And I'm out, on my riding lawnmower cutting the grass, and it just stopped. Try to turn it back on, didn't do nothing. So I had to get my wife, and we had to hook it up to the truck and, bring it around to the house. And as we were bringing it around to the house, it was like, some teenagers just sitting out there being teenagers with their phones, and we're driving by and they're pointing and laughing. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck are they laughing at? And it's funny because as soon as I got off the tractor, my wife knew exactly what the fuck I was about to do. And she said, go in the house. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Because if you old enough to talk shit to a grown ass man, you old enough to get fucked up. And it's not necessarily physical. You old enough to stand 10 toes down and say some shit to a grown man, you're going to stand 10 toes down while he's in your face talking shit to you, trying to figure out why you think you're on the same level as him. Because at the end of the day, it's not so much about what's okay and what's not okay. People think that they can say whatever they want to grown ass people and there's no consequences. They think that it's okay to just say, oh, if I'm protected by this person and this person, I can just go out there and just call that black person an N-word, or I can call that Mexican this, or I can call this person this, or this gay person this, or whatever. Because they think they're protected by the hatred that they got going on in their house. This is a word to the wise. I live in Virginia. And if you ever use the N-word towards me anywhere near my property or outside of that property and it's in my face, the pull-up game is strong. I don't talk shit. I pull up. And it's not about fighting. I just want you to stand 10 toes down. If you're going to be racist, say it to my face. Don't say it behind my back. Say it to my face. It should never get to that point. But the world we are in right now has allowed it to get to that point. I don't feel like I should go out being scared to go with my wife somewhere thinking that somebody's going to try to do something to me while I'm with my family. It's kind of weird in 2026 how you have to move as a black man and be okay with it. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you could be okay with going out and feeling protected by not just the world, by who you're with and everything else. And then there's times when you feel like with all that protection, it's still not protecting you. It's still not protecting you. And it's not something that you're doing wrong. I just wish that we had a country, a president, people in leadership that had balls. And not just, balls that say whatever the fuck they want. Balls to be able to do the things that need to be done in this country. Not divided, not separated. It's saying oil and water, but they're making it feel like oil and water. And I don't like that feeling. And I'm sure a lot of our younger people don't like that feeling because they're growing up in it. We're growing old in it and they're growing up in it. And that's not something that I want my kids to feel that defines who they are because somebody don't like the way they look or don't like how they talk, how they dress. It's sad that we have to sit around here and overly explain ourselves to get by a conversation. Just to get by a conversation, we have to overly explain ourselves. Why this? Why that? Why you have dreads? It's like you get all these fucking questions about being who you are as a person. I don't ask you why you don't season your fucking meat. We cool. That's just shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. Culturally, it ain't got nothing to do with me. So why would I ask? I just know you ain't gonna season your shit and I gotta bring my shit with me. That's all that means. That's really all that means. That means that I accept you regardless of what cultural differences we may have. I accept you. There's no buts. There's no if, what ifs. It's none of that. It's I accept you. But people have gotten into this stereotype of thinking that acceptance is, oh, but that's not acceptance. You're compromising now. Because now if it's an oh, but you're not accepting that person, you're compromising in the position of being said friend, said whatever, and compromise. Because if that compromise was there, would you be with this person? Would you talk to this person? Would you associate with this person? Probably not. Because guess what? There's people that are in the military right now, and I'm not trying to stir up anything, but there's people in the military right now that's compromising. Yeah, it's full of diversity, but people are compromising. There's people that don't like black people. There's people that just don't like white people or other races. And they're in the military. And then when they get out, they want to show you their true colors if they didn't while they was in the military. Now, is that acceptance? No. But you compromised a relationship. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you may feel a certain way about someone until you hear about that same someone. That person can present to you the greatest thing, and you think that this person is a great leader, whatever, great father, this, that, and the third. And then y'all detach and y'all are, living your lives and still have the veteran status and you have the memories and blah, blah, blah. And then y'all see each other on Facebook and you send a friend request because y'all was cool in the military and it never gets answered. Or it gets answered in that compromise. Hey, I know that we were cool in the military, but I just don't, some old bullshit that they'll come up with to not be your friend. Or, you'll read a post and see how they really feel. And then when you delete their ass or you send them a message, they want to have some type of feeling about it. They want to try to back it up, or they want to try to, put more fuel on the fire and say, this is just how I am and blah, blah, blah. And to me, if that's the way you were brought up, that's the way you were brought up. Period. That it is what it is. But what I don't understand is why join the military? I mean, why join if the military is full of diversity and a melting pot of just all kinds of different people and cultures and things of that nature, and you only resonate with one? Why join the military? For that matter, why join any organization that involves different races if that's how you feel? Because at this point, it's not about paying bills and it's not about making money. It's about you being an asshole. Because I refuse to be around people that think that it's okay to disparage people because of race or religion, sexual orientation, all that shit. I don't do with people like that. And the reason why I don't is because you're only open to conversations that involve a certain group of people, and you're shut off on everything else. And being shut off on everything else is cool if that's how you live life. But when some stuff goes down and you need to communicate with people, but you only communicate with a certain group of people, and y'all on bad terms right now because this person said this about you, so you just ain't really messing with nobody right now. You come to a point where now it's like, okay, who do I talk to? You can't talk to nobody because you didn't stretch everything thin. You have made everybody just, I don't want to talk to you. I don't like your attitude. I don't like how you talk to people. I don't like how you treat people. And this is exactly how people are dealing with it, or dealing with people outside of the job. You get people that want to be funny and act a certain way at their job, and then they really act funny when they outside the job, to the point where it's like, it ain't borderline disrespectful. It's disrespectful completely. And what I don't understand is why we have to sit here and continuously deal with this back and forth, back and forth. This is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. And this is what I believe. It's the First Amendment. Yeah, it is the First Amendment. But when black people start using that First Amendment or already have been using that First Amendment, don't get all your pennies in a bunch. Don't start calling the white equivalent of the NAACP, which that may be what? I have no idea. Church? I don't know. Cricket? I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not going to try to analyze it or figure it out. But what you're not going to do is try to tell somebody how they can express themselves and how they can't sit here and just take some shit. I'm not going to sit around here and just take something because you think that I'm supposed to because you're going to try to say it to me. Stop. It's not going to work. We as a people need to be people. We need to be people, not just a person. We need to be united people. We can't because there's so many differences and so many, I don't like you and I don't F with this and I don't F with that. And sometimes it's just inherently bad for people to really coexist with other people that have done bad to them historically. And it shouldn't take a group of people to say, we apologize for what my ancestors did. It shouldn't come to that because the government and everybody else knows. But we still are divided. It's still, oh, the first black this and the first black this. Why the fuck do we always have to label everything to analyze the difference between white and black? We are people in the United States, but we're still considering ourselves divided. Why? Let that marinate. Because if you actually took the time, I think it would make sense. And I mean that, like, I think it would make sense to people to just sit there and just understand where everybody is coming from, what they're dealing with, and it not be an issue. But it is. It's always going to be an issue when people don't see eye to eye. They only want to see what they believe, and that's it. That's it. They don't want to see what is real and what's not real, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. No, this is what I believe, and that's all it is to it. Okay, cool. But people don't necessarily see the disrespect. People don't necessarily see the fact that it's alienating a group of people. And to me, it's not even about the alienation because we could go back and forth with this conversation. I'm going to end with this. There was a city called the Queen City outside of Alexandria, Virginia. Was a thriving community called the Queen City. Had thousands of black people there. All black city, gas stations, stores, their own property, dentists, things that were, that they can culturally go to. Not necessarily just solely owned, but it was in their neighborhood. So you're going to go in the stores that are in your neighborhood. And if you're in a black neighborhood, you're going to go to your black stores. Just like if you're in New York and you go to the bodega or you go to these things that are culturally fine in these neighborhoods, you're going to attach yourself to them because they bring you back home, right? So the Queen City, you probably won't know this unless you do research. The Queen City used to sit in a very, it was occupied, obviously, but it was a big area of Virginia that they felt would be strategically good for a building that housed the planning of how we do stuff in the government. The Pentagon is in the place of Queen City. Do your research.